Yes, today we're in my office because you guys are in trouble. So a while back the news broke that Halle Bailey would be playing Ariel in the new Disney live action remake. Now every time one of these movies are announced, in general there's just a lot of backlash, for good reason most of the time. But the backlash for this movie had a distinctive racist flair, should I say. Now, I'm going to admit, I am not a fan of these remakes. I do wish we can get some original work, especially from a corporation as big as Disney, and I feel we are long overdue for another animated princess. However, with that being said, the way you guys treated the news that this black woman would be taking the role of a previously animated white girl did not sit right with me. If you guys had led with that Disney is being cheap with these remakes, that Disney is being lazy and not making new stories, that in a way the need to turn these animated stories into live action form delegitimizes the art form of animation as a whole, I would have agreed with you guys. In fact, I would have been right along with you guys in boycotting this movie. Okay, maybe not boycotting, but I would have had a general indifference to this movie, much like the other remakes that have came out before this. But no, you guys led with, but she's black. And that's the problem. And now y'all pissed me off. And today I got time. I have sat back and watched what you guys did to Anna Diop when she was casted in the role of Starfire. I have sat back and watched what you guys did to Leah Jeffries when she was casted as Annabeth in the Percy Jackson series. I have sat back and watched you guys bitch, moan, and complain about a black man and subsequently his black children being in the Game of Thrones, a predominantly white show. But no, I will not let you guys bully Halle Bailey. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. I'm going to try to sit here today and attempt to reason with the illogical complaints that have been thrown this movie's way. Hey, editing Zari here. No, it's the beginning of the video, but I forgot to state this. I just want to give a bit of context. This video will be mostly centered around the experiences of black people because the main topic is The Little Mermaid and, Halle Bailey is black. But I feel like the same idea, as at least when it comes to race swapping, can be applied with any other minority. Yeah. Now, I'm not even going to attempt to engage with the blatantly racist people. They know what they are, and there's no reasoning with them. Instead, today I'm going to argue with the people that try to hide behind the guise of fair criticism, because you know, I know, we know that that is bullshit.
Number 1. That's not how she originally looked.
Now, this is a claim that I feel like I've heard the most. Why change the original? Why not? Seriously, why not? You guys claim that you hate these remakes because they're so unoriginal and uninspiring, but whenever someone tries to do something different with them, it's a problem. That being said, does Ariel's skin color change the story in any way? No, not really. Arguably, the most interesting thing about Ariel was that she had red hair and she was a mermaid. And guess what two things are still included in the story? She still has red hair and she's still a mermaid. So what's the problem? Go ahead, I'll wait. I got all day. Like, no one was complaining when Emma Watson was cast to play Belle in Beauty and the Beast, despite the fact that she's not a singer. Like, imagine being cast in a musical and you can't sing. But this wasn't a problem, right? Because at least Emma looked like Belle. Because it's all just on face value. That's the only thing that you guys care about. Whereas Halle is a literal professional singer. This is her job. She came out the womb singing. She has the literal voice of an angel, something that is integral to the story of Ariel, unlike her skin color. But oh, that's not how she looked in the original.
Number 2. It's not realistic.
It's like, you guys do know that mermaids don't exist, right? That there's not fishes singing about under the sea. That there's not a crab with a Jamaican accent telling you to kiss the girl, right? You do know that all of this is made up. Like, why are we worrying about realism in a Disney movie? And then I seen this dumbass tweet that was like, oh, Ariel can't be black because how are mermaids supposed to develop melanin when they live at the bottom of the sea and therefore never touch sunlight? And I was like, if you don't know how black people work, then just say that. I spend 80% of my time indoors. And guess what? I'm still black. Like, that's not how melanin works. You can't just stay indoors and lose all your color. If that was the case, bitch, I would look like Emma Stone. Anyways, moving on.
Number 3. What about redhead representation?
Now, by now, everyone should know how important representation is. We have seen it time and time play out, just how impactful it is for young people to see people that look like them on screen. Optics, unfortunately, play a big role in children's development. But you guys are acting like redheads don't exist in media, like at all, which just is not true, especially when it comes to princesses. There's Merida, there is Mera from Aquaman, even though is she a princess? Well, she's royalty. There is Gazelle from Enchanted. There's even Anna, which I guess you could say is a bit iffy because some people consider her a redhead, some people consider her a strawberry blonde. Whatever. That's still other 3 examples I gave you right there. Whereas black girls only have 2 that I can think of. And one of them, she was a frog the whole movie. And the other one is a live action remake from the 90s that had nothing to do with Disney, so. By the way, I understand that Mera is from Warner Bros., but you get my point. And also, not to mention, the original Ariel still exists. Like, you guys do know that, right? Like, when this movie comes out in 2023, no one is going to come knocking on your doors demanding that you give up your copy of The Little Mermaid like this is Fahrenheit 451. Like, that shit will still be on Disney+. You can still show that to your children if you guys have children. God, please don't have children. But if you guys do have children, you can still show that to them. In the promos, Ariel will still be white. The dolls will still be produced. She will still be Ariel. It's not like the white Ariel will be wiped and erased from existence altogether. I also want to point out that the shade of red that Ariel has isn't even natural. Like, that's not how real redheads look. Their hair is orange or ginger. They call them gingers for a reason. Like, real gingers, hair color isn't even that red. So by your own logic, Ariel isn't even good representation. Also, I wanted to point out that gingers are a very small portion of the population, 1 to 2%. Whereas black people, or people who racially identify as black, take up a much larger portion of the population. Now, I admit, this is a weaker part of my argument. Just because there are less of a certain group of people doesn't mean that they don't need to be represented either. Look what you guys have made me do. I'm literally looking up the percentages of groups of people for The Little Mermaid. And did you guys know that black people could be gingers as well? It's almost as if this movie would be representation for that very small group of people. Also, as stated before, Hallie's hair will still be red in the movie. Like, if anything, this is better ginger representation than the original.
Number 5. Can't just swap the race of characters.
Some people feel like it's disrespectful to just swap the race of a character, to blackwash or Asian wash or etc. these characters, which isn't really a thing. But then they say things like, well, oh, don't complain when they make the Black Panther white. Like, first of all, White Wolf exists. Secondly, you're dumb. You're dumb, and I want you to know that. Because you guys are acting like, for centuries, Hollywood wasn't doing just that.
Imagine if they cast Angelina Jolie as Afro-Latina woman Marion Pearl. Or if they cast white actor Jack Palance as Cuban Fidel Castro. Or if they got the white actor Ben Affleck to play the Mexican-American man Antonio J. Mendez. Or if they got the white actress Elizabeth Taylor to play the Egyptian Cleopatra. Or a white actor like Jim Sturgis playing Asian American Jeffrey Ma. Or if they got white actor Sean Connery to play Moroccan Malay Ahmed Erasuni. Or if they put little white Shirley Temple in blackface as a slave child. Or they cast white actor Joseph Fiennes to play black man Michael Jackson. Or even if they got white actor Johnny Depp to play a Native American man. Or white Welsh actress Catherine Zeta-Jones to play Griselda Blanco? Or could you even imagine them putting white actress Katharine Hepburn in yellowface to play a Chinese farmer? I mean, we couldn't imagine white actress Jennifer Connelly playing a Salvadorian Alicia Nash, right? Or white actor John Wayne playing the Mongolian Genghis Khan? Or white actor Christian Bale playing the Egyptian Hebrew Moses? Or perhaps Marlon Brando as Emiliano Zapata? I mean, no one could ever imagine white actor Fred Astaire in blackface playing Billy Robinson, right? Or Juliette Binoche playing a Chilean Maria Segovia? Or white actress Scarlett Johansson playing Major Motoko Kusanagi in Ghost in the Shell? Or even imagine, if you will, white actor Jake Gyllenhaal playing the Prince of Persia? Or even Jaime Lannister cast as the Egyptian god Horus? America's sweetheart Emma Stone playing Alison Ing? British actor and hardest name to pronounce ever, Benedict Cumberbatch playing Khan? I mean, no one would ever cast a white actor to play Goku, right? I mean, there are cases like Mina Savari, who played Brandy Broski, who was based on an African-American woman, but at least they put her in cornrows, right? Or Kevin Spacey's part in Pay It Forward that's based on a black man named Reuben St. Clair. Nora from Warm Bodies, who's described in the book as half Ethiopian. Oscar-winning Sir Anthony Hopkins playing a light-skinned black man, passing for white. Irene from Drive. In the book, she's Latina. Oh look, there's Jim Sturgis again, pretending to be Asian. There's also Josh Hartnett playing an Inuit. Do we even need to discuss the cast of The Last Airbender? Of course, who can forget Mickey Rooney's yellow face as Mr. Yunioshi in Breakfast at Tiffany's? Laurence Olivier playing the Moorish King Othello. The entire Carradine family playing Asian. And those are only the ones I could fit in 3 minutes. No one has to imagine.
And that could go on for hours. And hours. And hours. And hours. Like, imagine how much more cases are like that out there. Like, you're really going to complain about these 1 or 2 characters being race swapped. And don't even try to, like, say that, oh, this is something that was prevalent in the past, because that Ghost in the Shell movie came out, like, what, 2017? 2017 is not that long ago. Now let me get a little bit closer to tell you guys about my personal antidote. When I was younger, the story of Rapunzel was my favorite bedtime story ever. My mother, every night before she tucked me in, would tell me the story of this beautiful black princess that was locked in a tower with long curly hair that went on for miles. And I loved that shit so much that when I heard that Disney was making a movie based on it, I was so excited. So imagine my surprise when I watched that trailer and I seen a little blonde white girl. I will admit I was flabbergasted for a minute, but you know what I did even at that young age of 7, 8, a little girl if you might, a little girl that still understood representation without really understanding representation. I went and I watched that movie. And guess what? I enjoyed it. It was almost as if the color of her skin did not matter to the story that was being portrayed at hand. To this day, Tangled is still one of my favorite Disney movies. And also, why the whole argument of turning someone like T'Challa or even Tiana white doesn't make any fucking sense is because being black is essential to these characters' story. It's literally explicitly about being black. You cannot have a white Black Panther and still have the same fucking storyline. The shit won't make any sense. You can change the race of somebody like Joe from Soul and still have the same story. But then again, on the other hand, why would you even want to take away the so little representation that people of color have? For centuries, Black people or people of color had to sit in the background and watch you guys steal our characters and, make them white and palatable for your audience. So the small amount of characters that are explicitly stated to be of another race is special to us. and not as interchangeable as the thousands of white characters. Like, no, because for real, this shit really baffles me. Like, there will be a show with the cast of nothing but white people. Literally, the main cast will have 10 niggas in it, and all of them will be white niggas. White niggas? Is that an oxymoron? Anyways, we'll have 10 people in it, and 9 out of the 10 people will be white, but they change one character to an Asian, and now you guys are upset? Like, how selfish is that?
Número 6. Disney doesn't really care about us.
Then there's the Disney doesn't really care about us argument, that this movie is just them pandering to black audiences. Never mind that arguments like these are only brought up because you don't like the race swapping, because to be honest, you guys don't give a fuck about representation either, if that's the case. And I'm fine with that. I'm not asking you guys to fight our battles, but do not act like you guys are fighting on our side when you could really care less. But do you guys understand that the director handpicked Halle for this role? He saw one of her performances, more than likely cool people. By the way, you guys should definitely check out that performance. Love it. I'm going to link that somewhere. It's going to be in one of these little thingies. And he was drawn to her voice and her just general aura. And he called her up specifically to audition for this role. Disney didn't set out to make another black princess. We know them niggas are racist. Look what they did to Finn in Star Wars. Look at the poster from China compared to the one in America. You see anything different? Look at the fact that we haven't had another animated black princess since the one where she was a frog most of her story. And her prince was broke. And her castle was a restaurant where she had to work in. Honestly, Disney, what the hell were you guys thinking with that movie? Trust me, nobody understands how much Disney doesn't give a fuck about us like us. But despite all of that, Halle was still hand-chosen to play this role. Don't you think that says anything?
Number 7. Why don't you guys just make your own characters?
I think this argument to me is the most dismissive of them all. It sounds to me like you guys are saying, if you want representation, then get representation. That's like telling a depressed person, well, don't be sad anymore. There is a lack of original BIPOC characters for a reason. No one is making them or giving opportunities to the people that are making them. I would absolutely love to have my own original, black princess or black superhero or just black character, period. I'm pretty sure most marginalized groups would love to have their own character that represents them. But who's going to do it? Is it you? No, you're going to sit on your ass and complain about a movie that came out 33 years ago that you haven't watched since you were a child. Do you really think boycotting The Little Mermaid would make Hollywood or Disney stop making remakes or stop casting people of color in roles that previously weren't made for them? Obviously, they're not listening to you guys. And maybe, just maybe, supporting this movie would show Disney that there is a demand for a black princess, that this is something that people want. And maybe, finally, they'll give us another. Now, this isn't really an argument that I've heard, but I feel like there has been a lot of people trying to gaslight us into saying, I haven't seen any negative comments about this movie. I haven't heard anyone speaking about it. And stop lying, one, because you're a liar. But also, despite the fact that, of course, there has been people, commenting, their racist bullshit. But the trailer on YouTube has 1 million dislikes. Well, it's dislike bomb. Like, do you know how petty you have to be to dislike something when nobody can see it? Like, do you know how petty you have to be to add a Chrome extension to see those said dislikes? Like, you had to be really pressed to really sit here and dislike bomb a fucking trailer. A 30-second trailer for a movie that you guys have not even seen yet. What's wrong with y'all? Do y'all think this is normal behavior? Like, do y'all even care about The Little Mermaid? This is grown-ass men and women sitting up disliking a trailer for a movie that I cannot stress enough they probably haven't even thought of since they watched as a child. Like, y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. Y'all just want to be racist. Anyways, this video took too long, but if there's one point that I want to get across today is get over yourself. Step out of your little self-contained bubble for 1 second and think of somebody other than yourself. Like, have some sense. This movie is bigger than you. No, your childhood is not ruined. It's still there, regrettably. This is about all the little black mermaids out there that never thought they would have the representation. For all the little black girls whose mothers had to lie to them about the race of princesses for their bedtime stories so they can feel seen. For all the little black girls that thought they could never see themselves as the main character. This is their time. We, and yes, I said we, because me included, our time has passed. This movie isn't targeted for us. And of course that doesn't mean that, other people can't enjoy it. But, like I said, it's not about us. It's about them.
I think she's round. Round, Ariel. Round Ariel is cute.
I know, right? Go. What, baby?
She's brown like me.
Yeah, she's brown like you.
I'm so excited to see you.
We're gonna go see it when it comes out in the theater.
Yes! I want to watch it.
She got dreads as well. Those are dreads. She could sing though. She could sing though.
Which type of Rapunzel movie is this?
It's coming out of
May 2.
Watch.
She's black? Yay.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Doesn't that look cool?
I just want to watch it.
It comes out.
Her voice is beautiful.
She's black! Mama, she's black! What? Mama! They made a black Ariel! What? Siri! I'm sorry, but what?
Who's your favorite mermaid?
Ariel. What's that kind of mermaid? What's that kind of mermaid, Ma? Is her as the real her?
Part of that
Oh.
Are you crying?
No.
Oh, sweet girl.
And if you can't see that, I don't know what to tell you.
Sayonara, bye-bye. Please take care of yourself.
By the way, do you guys think I should do a video on how we let Anna Diop down? Like, it really hurt my soul that I was not really on the internet at the time like that to really defend her like that. But the comments that just went her way were so disgusting, were so hurtful. And like to this day, I still get mad about that shit. Cause like, why y'all did that? Why y'all did that for real?